So it is time to turn down the glorious golden iTunes. No disrespect to David Wise or Grant Kirkhope, but that music has to go away in favor of letting 1980X wash over us. So let's fire this up. I've played it over the past week, and I figured whatever's going on in this game is something that needs to be shown to the world. And yes, lots of synthwave, retrowave, vaporwave aesthetics and sounds going on here. I think you might love the soundtrack for what's going on here. So, for the curious, not much to the options menu, just language and subtitles. And even then, looks like those language options are incredibly limited as it is. So, as much as I wish I could play this in, I don't know, Spanish, perhaps, but in any case, let's start this up. And because I have played it before, all of the levels are laid out before us: Beating Heart, Out of the Void, The Runaway, Shadow Play, Kill Screen, and the end credits. So not really technically a long or complicated game, but it uses each game to very effectively convey some emotional beats. So let's get the introduction out of the way here. Let's go. Worth it.
There I was, up in my room, just like every other night, counting taillights on the highway. Soon the cars below would reach the city. But me, I'd still be here, stuck in sleepy suburbia. Or so I thought. But sometimes extraordinary things will happen if you just let them.
Let the retro wave wash over you. Capillaries, hey! This is 1980X, a recent Kickstarter success story. I'd say a bit less of a game, a bit more of a playable short film. So whatever you have been watching for the past minute or two, this is a trip through some memories. I don't know how old you might be, but if you've got some memories of video gaming as a young gamer, maybe from between 1985 to 1985 to maybe 1992, this game might tug at the heartstrings a little bit. It's a success story in that it actually got funded and made it to release. That's what makes it so successful for Kickstarter. A lot of times in Kickstarter, games don't even make it to release, so got to give him credit for at least making this one able to get out the door. And maybe once this game finds its way to charm you, you'll like it too. I'm glad you agree.
Suburbia, just outside the city, sometime in 1980X. What you see around here used to be all that I cared for.
Hideous winter, hello.
Because it was all that I knew. It was here that I'd met my first friends, rode my first bike, found my first love.
Okay, Capillaries.
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, there might be a lot that speaks to you in this.
This is the place I grew up in and grew out of. A place I loved and hated. I remember walking around these blocks for hours, just waiting for something to happen. I knew I needed to move forward, but every day felt like I was on a road to nowhere. The same office buildings and cheap restaurants, the grocery store, the laundromat, and the video rental place where Dad used to take me on the weekends. He'd be looking for classics, while I was more into superheroes. Oh man, we could go on forever. But then, we didn't go there anymore. It was no big deal. These days, I guess I was just looking for anything that could make my heart skip a beat again.
Very relatable.
And that was when I found it.
We're setting the scene, we're setting the mood, we're setting the era here. Glad to have you in here, Hideous Winter. I usually make a bigger deal out of your arrival. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't talking over the cutscene.
The factory was built long before I was born, but had been shut down and abandoned for as long as I could remember. Mom used to tell me to stay away from there. But there was something down that pitch-black alley that caught my eye.
And that's right, Hideous Winter. You have the drag show tonight.
It took all the guts I had to go down the stairs. The basement air was thick with cigarette smoke and 10,000 volts of energy. And in the midst of this electric haze stood an army of high-tech creatures, their huge crystal-clear screens flashing before my eyes.
I hope you have a great night, Hideous Winter, whenever you do go out.
I'd seen video games before. Dad even brought home one black and white model when I was really young. But this was something else. Something you could not take home with you. And this place was definitely no hangout for children. In front of these machines stood some of the coolest, uncool people I had ever seen. There were the freaks, the geeks, the misfits, the outcasts, the real rebels, part of something the outside world could not understand or even knew existed. These guys were all playing trance-like, totally absorbed, as if they experienced something from another dimension. Maybe I could be one of them.
Yeah, Cabal. See, I knew it wouldn't take long for this to get under your skin. Like, if that cutscene doesn't set the tone for you for this game, I don't know what will. That was some beautiful, powerful stuff. Out of the void. Let's play. Let's drop in that quarter. Go in deep. Panic Sloth, hey, what's going on? Appreciate you coming in. Happy to see you live here. I know you were watching some of my VODs a couple days ago. I appreciate your interest very much. You are awesome for coming in. I know you have a lot going on in life right now with work and your family, but it means a lot for you to be here. Still can't get over how spot-on perfect this music is. The clacky sounds of the kids slapping the arcade buttons as fast as they could. A little bit of... oh, even the Pro Controller is not that loud. Maybe my GameCube Wavebird will be a little bit better at that. The clacky sounds, the grungy smell of the carpet that had been downtrodden by so many dirty shoes over the days. Yeah, I'm just glad to hear it all, Panic Sloth. Even if your connection is shitty, I hope some part of it stays up well enough. The automatic functions that are here are sometimes okay. Twitch tries to keep the connection stable anyway. An old CRT. You'd have to get some sort of analog converter. They are all of those converters from HDMI down to analog video formats are they're not cheap. I've looked into it. Pinky swear. Arcades used to have a certain smell, a certain sound, a certain something magical inside of them as all of the games blended together into one giant noise, each game's melody becoming an individual kind of thing, sometimes poking out from above the chaos of the noise. It's pretty great. Lots of things will look good on a phone, Panic Sloth. That small screen helps a lot. Oof. I'm getting clumsy. I'm getting sloppy here. And there's only like a couple checkpoints in this level too. But that's what it's all about, right? Just some of these parts will be a little too hard, so it's going to eat a quarter or two. Streamer gonna go broke tonight. The coin slot on my Nintendo Switch is gonna get very full. Yeah, parents for another $5. That was the crazy thing. The only thing they ever gave up was $5 in the face of games going up to being 50 cents, 75 cents, sometimes $1. Didn't matter. All you got was $5, and you just had to be okay with it because that's what they thought that a game ought to cost. It's just those five little that you could get. $5 for a good hour, maybe more. Once upon a time, that was true, and a quarter was just kind of the gentleman's agreement for all arcade games. But then, obviously, things changed. The arcade experience had to get bigger, crazier, more elaborate in order to keep attracting players. I'll run out of my right forearm before I run out of quarters. Oof. That was a big scary blast. I wonder where that big scary blast came from. Could it possibly be the end boss of this level? It just might be. Uh-oh. Ew. The robot's bleeding. Oh, snap. This music is incredible. What's that sound? I love the kid on the left just casually smoking.
Wouldn't be fair to say I didn't do my best in school. At least for a while, I really tried to make it work. But now, walking those hallways with all those people, I wasn't really there. I was on an asteroid somewhere, fighting space invaders. But then there was her.
She looks like she's dressed a little bit like Panic Sloth would.
This punk rocker from the Southern District. She was the wildest thing I'd ever seen. Oh man, that girl was born a rebel. Free to go wherever she wanted to. Free in a way I could still only dream of.
Time for the runaway. And anyone who's played an old school racing game is gonna be in for a treat, I promise. So Cabal, how's your Saturday been? Everything going happy and smooth so far on your weekend? That's the thing. It's meant to be, depending on your experiences, almost any game that you want it to be. Just like the previous couple games, we started out with some Streets of Rage or Final Fight or Double Dragon. Then we moved on to R-Type or Darius. And now we're playing Cruisin' USA or Outrunners. It's all just about what was most emotionally impactful for you. Yeah, shame Cruisin' USA hasn't found its way to revive as a series. I especially like Cruisin' the World. They did some really interesting things with it. Sega's Outrunners was entirely what kicked it all off. Outrunners dates back, I want to say, to like 1988 or 1989. Cruisin' USA didn't come until the mid-90s. Whether you call it Outrun, Outrunners, it definitely had a couple of names. Especially this tunnel part is definitely, they wanted to pull from Outrun right here. Oh no, running low on time. I better hurry up. And I'd better be more careful. Though there were some excellent 3D versions of Outrun that could be found in the arcades, later ported to the PS2 and Xbox 360, I believe. Yeah, given your age, Cabal, Outrun was definitely everywhere during your arcade days. Rikaku, hey yo! Welcome to the stream. How was your stream? Were you really kicking as much ass as you could over there on some Oddworld? Outrun had the convertible with the blonde, indeed. Driving your Ferrari down the beachside roads. It was great. Oh, you beat it! Awesome. Yeah, I remember you saying at the beginning of your stream you were setting out to beat Oddworld.
Almost every night, standing there beside the other players, watching every move their fingers made. This was the real thing. Another life was just one credit away. Down here, I found new worlds, a new meaning.
New world and new meanings. Thanks for the host, Rikaku.
Whoever I wanted to be. Travel to outer space.
Appreciated very much.
Experience fantasy.
Yep, I was lurking your stream.
Or just take a walk on the wild side of town. But nothing could beat the rush of the highway.
Gotta keep those viewer numbers tight, you know?
Speeding cars, reminding me that there was a way out. A road to somewhere. The city on the horizon. I'd drive all night to get to that place.
Hey, I know you work hard on your stream, Rikaku. It may be too, but they're certainly very willing participants to watch the game unfold. And you know I got your back with those go live announcements too. Yeah, this game's only $10, Cabal. You should definitely get it. You should absolutely fire up the Switch and get this game. I had to Kickstarter it for like $25, but you know that's the overhead for making sure the developers can eat and pay their rent. It's all good. Because I had a heck of a great time with this game. The final level is a real treat for retro gamers. It's a love letter. I mean,
It wasn't just about the escape. It was about transformation. For every visit I made, every game I uncovered, every move I mastered, I felt stronger, more confident. Some guys said I was nothing but a dreamer, completely out of touch with reality. But I don't know. Down here, I was free. I was in control. No one told me where to go or what to do. The only bad part about it was having to come back up to the real world.
uh-oh. Out of time and no checkpoint. What gives? But yeah, super retro gamers will fall in love with the very last level of this game, coming up fairly soon. I just figured this game takes about an hour to complete, so it's a good start. It's a good appetizer. Dig those posters up there. Oh, suburbia. In a
Back
treehouse.
when we were kids, life was so much easier. You could go from bug collector in the morning to bank robber before bedtime. Anything was possible. Then came high school, and everyone got brainwashed. People started seeing you the way they wanted to see you. Be the brain, be the clown, be the troublemaker, be popular. People would define you in the most convenient way.
I think I see some VHS tapes hiding there on the left side.
And then, that's who you are.
A vintage porn stash, perhaps.
They say that when you grow up, something inside you dies. I'm still not sure if that's good or bad. When you're a child, shadows seem darker and lights seem brighter. Everything is more terrifying and more exciting at the same time.
It's good to have vindication about the possibilities of a VHS porn stash, Cabal. Shadowplay. Oh, there's definitely 2 or 3 games that'll come to mind when it comes to this one. I did some really fun stuff with blending together a few different games on this. Have a good night, Hideous Winter. Thanks for stopping by. I have to really keep focused on this because there are some sequences that require some surprisingly incredible precision, way more than what has transpired so far. Yeah, it's a little bit rhythm, little bit Endless Runner, little bit Shinobi, a little bit Ninja Gaiden, a little bit Strider, a little bit of all those things. Yeah, that was a nice little demonstration of they just completely offed an enemy just to demonstrate that particular hazard. I have no idea any actual function of those white orbs, but I'm gonna grab them because they seem important. audio cues like crazy. And also maybe a touch of I'd even say Battletoads that had a couple of good levels that required this kind of precision and focus of what was going to come at you. Like this boss. White bar is maxed out. I don't know. That's the thing. I could probably mash a couple of other buttons and figure it out. I've yet to truly figure out, like, I'm pressing every single button on the controller and none of them seem to leverage the white bar. It's not even a health refill or anything. Yep, Battletoads, the speeder bike level that we all know and love and hate, that freaking the Mexican runner managed to do blindfolded at a GDQ a few years ago, like the freaking legend he is. Yeah, Battletoads dive in the hole, the Wookiee hole, they affectionately called it. Okay, third and final sequence for this minigame. Actually, I wonder now if I look at controls. Slash, jump, slide, drop. Okay. I did not know there was a drop attack. Oh no, it's not an attack, it's just drop down a level. So yeah, that white bar, I really have no idea what it does. Sword slash is larger. That makes sense. What a gory way to die, huh? Yeah, the sword slash animation did change, you're right. Good call. Nothing like becoming more powerful by having better reaction time. I'm maxed out again. Oof, I jumped. Even though it doesn't take that many hits to kill enemies anyway, so it's almost like it's almost like the only gift is just a bigger area of effect for your sword slashes, which I'm fully okay with. And seemingly a faster slash, actually. You get powered up in a very subtle way. A subtle way that only a true ninja would recognize. Oh, I was holding down, I swear, I swear. Oh, that was embarrassing. At least I get to restart from here instead of the very beginning. A true kindness that this game gives. I'm playing with the D-pad, actually. On 2D games, I refuse to Joy-Con it unless absolutely necessary. Oh, please get me out of this area. Thank you. Stupid Joy-Con should have had a D-pad too. Hey, Thad Reanimated, what's going on? I appreciate you trying to find my Twitter. My Twitter is exactly the same name there as it is here, so you should just be able to go to twitter.com/manicsocratic and find me no issue. I'll even link it if you truly do need it. But otherwise, I am very, very strong about making sure that I have the exact same name across all platforms. I do not intend to cause confusion to anyone. Manic Socratic can be found in many places, but mainly Twitter is the place where I am strongest. Occasionally, I'll drop some stream clips on Instagram as well, but mostly on Instagram, you'll find me posting pictures of the delicious food that I eat. Ooh. Okay, I got through that section a little bit better than I did previously. So that's nice. Ooh, ninja movements. Okay, yeah, there's definitely more power in the sword strokes too. And it's time for the boss. Oh, thanks for that tip, Cabal. Yeah, I did just recently add that. I was hanging out with a couple of my fellow people in the Avenger Friends streamer collective, and got some advice over how to treat some of my panels down below, and I totally slipped my mind that those panels down there could be clickable links. Very Studio Ghibli inspired boss here. The razor phone that melted in your hands. I don't remember any of the Motorola razor phones doing any melting stuff. Maybe there were a couple of them that had exploding batteries, but the Moto Razr, as far as I know, was a pretty robust phone and pretty popular at that. Now it's time to build my white orbs back up. There was definitely something magical about the Moto Razr back in the day. Oh boy. Oof. Oh, I'm getting clobbered here. Oh boy. Wait, Thad Reanimated, you're finding a way to go to the actual Studio Ghibli? I did not even know that being able to tour the facility was an option. Thad Reanimated is pretty sneaky. If he snuck in, more power to him. Gotta go find out if they have a cafeteria where they model all that delicious food that shows up in their movies. Whew. I don't think that's the final encounter with him, though. Ow! Oh dear, everything's gone dark. Or maybe it's time for the next level. That carpet is sick. That carpet actually looks like what you'd find in arcades back in the day.
I used to love the weekends. Watching cartoons on early morning TV without a care in the world. The whole family together, free to do whatever we wanted to. Going for long rides in our car, me falling asleep in the back seat, and getting carried to bed when we got home. But then this thing with Dad happened. And now, I wasn't sure our family would ever be able to put the pieces back together. Being home alone with Mom, watching her too fall apart. I couldn't stand it. I had to go somewhere. Anywhere.
The
I just had
arcade.
to get out.
Place of refuge.
I used to fantasize about the city. Vaguely planning my escape, but never actually getting on the train. Instead, I kept hanging around at the video store, seeking comfort in made-up stories where I could pretend I was someone else. Mom would always tell me to quit dreaming and get back into the real world. I couldn't care less. That night at the arcade, everything changed.
Oh? Smoking is indeed very bad. And now, the real old gamers, the gamers who are older than me, possibly inclusive of you, Cabal, maybe even a few others, be prepared for something interesting. I was told by a friend on Twitter about what inspired this game. I can't remember its name entirely, but a few people might recognize it. But it also sort of evokes memories of text adventure games too, but just with a nice graphical flair. Shadowrun vibes. cool observation, Adrian Vendor. Thanks for stopping by the stream tonight. Appreciate you checking in. This is 1980X, and we are on the final level. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying, that this game will pull memories depending on your experiences. It doesn't matter what you experience, as long as you're around for the era of long ago, you will recognize something. Genesis Shadowrun. Wow. Uh-oh. Oof. I'm not gonna survive this. Oh. Yeah, you definitely have to die a few times in this one, I think. There's no... Yeah, there's no going deathless on this. You can't really finesse it through like you can with the others. Shadowrun, the cyberpunk RPG? Just might be. I would trust Adrian Vendor to remember. Ooh. I don't remember seeing a pink one before. I've seen blue and green. I didn't see pink ones the last time I played. Need to survive this one hit. Enjoy the food. Hope you find something tasty, Rikaku. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate every minute every one of you brings to the stream. And then I get stronger, so that even my weaker attacks. Let's do this. Let's get stronger. I'm close to the next level. Survive this hit, and then one more. There we go. I really need to set up a chatbot. Chatbots are neat. A green one. Ooh. Oh, I did not know there was a crowdfunded revival of Shadowrun. That's neat. Survive one more hit. Okay. And then... Ooh, I'm dying. Oh? I can't heal. And that hit won't be strong enough to kill it, so here comes another death for me. Like a wizardry on the NES. That's perfect. Everything that Adrian Vendor and Cabal, everything you guys are saying is exactly what this game wanted to do. Legend of Grimrock. I think I remember messing around with the Legend of Grimrock briefly a few years back. It might be buried somewhere in my Steam library. Oh boy. These guys are tough. Ooh, I forgot to heal. Oh! That was on me. That was all on me. I will find a way. Even if it requires a little bit of grinding. And finally being strong enough to one-hit enemies. Oh man, these red messages, intense, so intense. And this is where I win. I'll heal up first turn of the next battle. After Wizard, you play the Might and Magic games. Oh yeah, Might and Magic was a pretty substantial series. Wasn't in my genre at all, but definitely glad that people had a game like that to play. Ooh, 2-hit kill. Not gonna grow up. One of 3 dragons right here. Just gotta be vigilant. Ooh, 40. The wings were like Alucard's cave. Jester, hey! Thanks for popping into the stream. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Oh, why did I heal? That was a bad decision. I didn't realize that I had leveled up. Not so much appreciate the sentiment. All these nerds standing strong together, day in, day out, thanks to a little place called Twitch. Stop distracting, Jester. Yeah, I guess I should focus. I am on the last level of this game. Enemies resistant to slash. I guess I better beam him. There we go. Weakness exploited. Oh, now I'm getting too powerful. Cabal wants to say a lot of things, but we appreciate that Cabal practices a lot of restraint. There are beam jellyfish slash jellyfish, and I guess Uh-oh, the computer's getting scared. Is this a beam dragon? Yes, it is a beam dragon. Goodbye, dragon. One dragon remains. Oh. The maze is beginning to fray at the edges. The walls are glitching. I saw Birds of Prey last night. It was a lot of fun. It was truly a good movie. I had only the tiniest sliver of hopes that it could be good, and it freaking delivered. It was just a joy, top to bottom. I didn't even care that it was like 15 minutes too long, because even the fluff was entertaining. Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn. Yep, just came out a couple weeks ago. And this should be the Hack Dragon. Come at me. Come at me, Hack Dragon. Ooh, two-hit kill. Upset to see what they did with Cassandra Cain. Oh. Certainly. I don't have any comic attachments, so I don't have any real frame of reference to be offended by the movie, so apologies if that makes me a little bit less of a nerd. Zero? This isn't the final boss one would expect to encounter. My attacks are useless. I just tried to heal. Ghost Princess, hello. Thank you for bringing your delightful presence to my stream. Thank you. We're just wrapping up 1980X here. I'm gonna get into some Wind Waker shortly. She was probably the most deadly assassin in all of DC Comics. Wasn't really portrayed that way in the movie. Yeah, okay, yeah, if that is the case for what Cassandra Cain is supposed to be, then I understand your sentiments there. They really would have watered down her character in that case. Ghost Princess, this Borg face is meant to be a metaphor for a parental figure. If that is in any way going to sway your feelings on it being mean. Yeah, I'm not a big nerd for the actual books. I love the characters. I love the lore. So it was a great movie for me. And now to wrap up this game. Looks like the cover of System Shock. Indeed. That's what 1980X is all about. All those memories coming up from the basement of your brain.
What happened that night? I honestly couldn't say. I was still there, but nothing was the same.
I don't want to get up. I want to stay at the arcade. with all the best people I know, and have my fancy car and my spaceship. And all the friends that I made along the way.
It's not over. It was just beginning.
And that is 1980X. I really hope this developer gets a chance to do a lot more with this and they get a lot of success. You can find this game for $10 for Nintendo Switch. I believe it's also on PC and PS4 as well. Yeah, not very long at all, which is why it's a $10 game. But you can see the shades of the developer having a very good handle on how to put together a game that feels good to play. Which is why I also, called it the amuse-bouche for the stream. It's really only about an hour. Would have been shorter if I didn't die a bunch in the Shinobi portion. So, but it's less. It's a little bit less a game, more of an interactive short film, I think. An interactive short film meant to be a snapshot of an era of something that brings back all of your emotions and feelings over what may have happened. Definitely geared towards the older gamer, I think, by going really deep and reaching into things like a smoky arcade that's down in the basement of some building in an industrial district. Go get that fresh and clean laundry, Jester. Might be a tough sell for some since gamers nowadays want everything for free. Well, there's also still a lot of gamers playing top dollar for Nintendo's first-party games, even if Nintendo refuses to discount them. I just picked up Super Mario Maker 2 and somehow got it for $50 instead of $60. I think if I had paid like an extra $10 or $15, I would have been able to get my name in the credits, but I looked for Manic Socratic, and I also looked for my actual full name that may have showed up on Kickstarter, and I wasn't there, so that's fine. I found it interesting seeing producer on the Japanese localization, John Ricciardi. Dude was an editor back in the day on Electronic Gaming Monthly, and now does a lot of video game journalism from Japan these days. So he also would have been a very good source for just someone who can be good at this localization. Yes, Adrian Vendor, Super Mario Maker 2. I was going to hold off on getting it, but as a favor to a certain friend, and this certain friend having a child who is very much obsessed with Super Mario Maker and Nintendo in general. That kid reminds me of me a little bit. The kid is definitely gifted, and he has this incredibly exquisite attention to detail. And insists on some very specific ways of making sure that one uses language correctly. It's just really heartwarming, so I'm going to eventually play some of his levels on stream. How good they are, that doesn't matter. What matters is Jonah needs to see his levels on stream, and I'll pop them onto YouTube for him to watch forever, of course. All the hours spent in study hall reading Electronic Gaming Monthly and Nintendo Power. Electronic Gaming Monthly was my jam. I cannot even begin to describe how many hours I spent buried in those magazines. When I wasn't playing games, when I was putting off homework, I would extract an issue of EGM out from under my bed. I had a grid of stacks of like 8 to 12 issues. It's almost like if, one could see the different stacks under my bed. Like, okay, here's gaming in 1997, here's the 98 stack, here's the 99 stack, the 2000 stack, etc. The $5 words that I learned, all the technical stuff that I could be able to pick up there back when they had their big their big Nintendo 64 pre-launch issue where it talked about all the hardware features. It told us all about what was anti-aliasing, what was Z-buffering, what was trilinear map interpolation, all these crazy 3D things that were going to be new buzzwords for us to learn as gamers. And I really appreciated that at no point did they ever decide to talk down to us, that they wanted to educate us to rise to the best level of gamer that we could, to be complete gamers, to know video games top to bottom, not just slam the game in and play it, but to really have a feel for the blood, sweat, and the tears of all the humans, all the people who set aside their lives for months on end to bury themselves in game development, to pour their hearts out in creativity, to create these labors of love. Next month will be 31 years since the first issue of EGM. Wow. That is intense. Yeah, I probably had a subscription from somewhere about, I want to say, issue 70 to 200 and something. There definitely came a point where it wasn't really feasible to keep subscribing, and I really feel, I think back to the day where I had to move away from home. And that meant shedding a lot of my childhood things that, you know, for various reasons, my parents didn't want to just be a storeroom for all my old stuff. So there were a lot of things that I had to toss. And unfortunately, it shatters my heart to this day, the amount of electronic gaming monthlies that went into the recycle bin, just destroying all that history. Thankfully, a lot of other diligent people have scanned those issues of EGM and put them up online. You can actually find them, quite a few of them, on archive.org and many other places. But yeah, EGM, like, I tried messing with GamePro. There's something about those chaotic layouts didn't do anything for me, and the single reviewer format also didn't do it for me. I enjoyed Tips and Tricks. Tips and Tricks, even though it was very narrow in its focus, did some very fun and sincere things. One thing that was really cute was always their big code roundup selection in the back of every Tips and Tricks magazine. One or two of the editors would have these little mini reviews of all the very nerdy Japanese candy that were product tie-ins to certain games, and it was usually more about the design of the packaging that the candy came in more than anything. It was usually much more elaborate than just something like these question blocks that we get these days. But yeah, Twitch starting to feel like YouTube with these ads. Oh, did they just like slam an ad on you right now in the middle? Because that sucks. I wonder if Twitch perhaps had this weird auto detect where it saw end credits and decided it was worth slamming an ad right there. So there we go, to kick off the start of the stream, 1980X. I'm still going to be here. I'm not gonna go anywhere, but I am gonna set things. But I'm gonna go do a little switcheroo here to get the GameCube fired up. To transition away from the Switch. So I guess, well, at the very least, I can